Hi, everyone. Let's take a look at number 9 on page 158. Determine the x-intercepts of each of the following polynomial functions. Round to 2 decimal places if needed. So I'm starting with 9e, and here's the first step. To find the x-intercept, you have to set y equal to 0 and solve for x. So for 9e, if you let y equal to 0, that's going to be 0, which equals to 4, times x minus 8 to the power of 4 minus 12. You bring negative 12 to the left, that's going to be positive 12, which equals to 4 times x minus 8 to the power of 4. The opposite of multiplying by 4 is to divide by 4. So now 3 equals to x minus 8 in brackets to the power of 4. And the opposite of anything to the power of 4 is to find the fourth root. But you have to be mindful because there are two cases. There's a plus and minus case. So again, any even root could be square root, the fourth root, and so on. There are two cases. So now, plus and minus, the fourth root of 3 equals to x minus 8. The opposite of subtracting 8 is to add both sides by 8. So 8 plus or minus the fourth root of 3. Now remember, they're asking you to round this to 2 decimals. So when I go back, I'm going to use the calculator and work it out. So in the first case, that's going to be 8 plus 3 to the power of, in my calculator, I'm going to use 1 divided by 4. That's going to be 9.32. And in the second case, I'm going to take 8 minus 3 to the power of 1 divided by 4. And that's going to be approximately 6.68. Again, in grade 12 math, you really want to write down the location, not just the x value. So there's the first x-intercept and the second x-intercept, just like that. Now, in a different color, I'm going to move on to part F. In part F, same idea. Your goal is to set y to be 0, and you solve for x. If you want to press pause for a moment and try this, when you press play again, I'll be here. Okay, welcome back. So if I bring negative 20 to the left, that's going to be positive 20, which equals to negative 2x plus 5 in brackets to the power of 3. The opposite of multiplying by negative 1 is to divide by negative 1. So negative 20 equals to 2x plus 5 to the power of 3. Now be very mindful here. Sometimes you're thinking there's no solution because I can't find the square root of a negative number. But you're not finding the square root. You're finding the cube root of a negative number. And it's okay to have a negative number inside a radical with an odd exponent. So the cube root, the fifth root, and so on, that is okay. So again, this is going to be 2x plus 5, which equals to the cube root of negative 20. For some students, if you want to switch this in terms of 2x plus 5 on the left and the cube root of negative 20 on the right, that's fine. The opposite of adding 5 is to subtract 5. And of course, the opposite of multiplying by 2 is to divide by 2. Again, be mindful, you're rounding it to 2 decimals. So I grab the calculator. I hope you're doing this as well. Negative 20 to the power of 1 over 3. That's how I'm going to use my calculator to work that out. Minus 5. Divide this by 2. Negative 3.86 is the first answer. Actually, that's the only answer. I was going to say that's the first answer, but there's only one answer because when you find the cube root, you don't have two cases. So therefore, again, negative 3.860 will be the x-intercept. And let me just put a box around the other case, just like that. I hope this makes sense.